Welcome back to Jason's Honest How-Tos and Reviews. Today I'm going to be showing you my review of the DJI Mavic Mini drone. This isn't the Mini 2, it's the original Mini. I've had it for, I think, about a year. I've done a lot of flying with it. This is my first drone. Really good intro drone. I'm just going to share with you kind of my thoughts on it and what I like about it, what I don't like about it, if I would buy it again, that sort of thing. So there are a couple more things that the Fly More combo includes that I don't bring with me. It has a cage that goes around the propellers, either for flying indoors or different things like that. But the main things that I bring with me are the drone, of course, which comes with this gimbal protector, and the props will kind of flop around, but really it does a good job of protecting it. I just make sure that they're pointing the right way when I slide it in there, and it fits really snug. The controller, and this is nice that it's so compact. I bought a little range extender that I'll show you that goes over these antenna. One thing I don't love about this controller, my phone does not fit super well into it. With the case on, I mean, it still fits in those grooves here and here, but when I try and close it down, then the connector is kind of goofy, but it just, yeah, it's almost too long, so it gets squished up this way. Anyway, I don't love that. It's not the end of the world, but I like that it is so compact, and then you've got the little control sticks that hide in there that you twist on. The thing I really like about the Mavic Mini is how the charger is set up. This is so smart. I wish they would have done this with the Air 2, because you've got all three batteries that slide in there. If you push this little button, it'll show you the battery level on each one. Not sure if you can see those lights, but it's compact, and you can use a USB charger that everyone already has to just plug that in and charge them. Super compact, keeps them together, they're not bouncing around inside of the case. And then these are just some extra propellers. That's how it came packaged. I've just never taken them out. But there's the case and everything that comes with the Mavic Mini. Okay, so final thoughts walking back here. I think that this is a good entry-level drone. I think that the size is really small, which is fun, but it's also really hard to keep visual line of sight because it's so little and kind of light gray. It's very, very easy to lose, and so much easier to keep an eye on something like an Air 2S or an Air 2, just because it is small. Not a lot of range, but again, since you have to keep visual line of sight, that's not necessarily the end of the world. I like the charger. I like the battery. Battery life has pretty consistently been between 25 and 29 minutes, which is what they advertise, so it does a good job there. But overall, I think it's a good drone to get started with. I don't think I really would use it for anything professional. It's just not quite high enough quality, but lots of fun just to fly around and a really good one to start with. Power button is still right here. You'll hear it kind of power on. And then we're gonna find somewhere to set it. Okay, so we're just gonna take off right off the case. There we go. Now I'm going to tell you a couple things while we're looking at this. Almost every single time this Mavic Mini requires compass calibration, and the Air 2 I have never had to do it. And so that's one big benefit to me, is I don't have to do the annoying compass calibration. I don't know why it makes me do it every single time. Okay, so we're going to take off here.
Has been updated. Please check it on the map.
There I am. Okay, so we're going to take off. Going to fly around a little bit here. And I'm going to tell you some other things, pros and cons here. Here's some beautiful St. George for you. For one thing, it sounds like a mosquito. It really does. It just is kind of an annoying high-pitched sound. But pretty sturdy, pretty stable with the rotation. Does a pretty good job with stability. The one thing I have noticed though, if you were doing, for example, you're trying to do your own HDR, you might as well forget about it because it just does not work well. There's too much movement, even on a calm day, between shots. It just moves around too much and is not staying stable. So flying around a little bit here. Watching the speed here, the highest I'm getting to is about 24, 25, 26, 27, 28 miles an hour. Almost 29 there. So it moves pretty decently. Yeah, there's 29. So I'm only 1,000 feet away. I'm already losing my signal here. It will return to home if it doesn't get a signal within a certain amount of time. Oh, maybe it's already working on it. Even here though, it's just splotchy. Like, one thing I do like about this one, okay, let's cancel, is it is pretty easy to catch it by hand because it's so small and light. So I'll show you that right now if I can. Okay, there we go. So, a couple other things. We'll just use this to film for a second. It's fun that it's so little. It's fun to fly. It's super small, easy to bring along. But stability when it's flying is a big thing, especially if you're trying to take like an HDR image. It doesn't have a really great range. That's a downside for sure. There's not a real good dynamic range either. And so trying to get really good, like I've done videos where I'm looking at the sunrise or sunset, and it just doesn't capture it very well. Obviously the image quality is not as high as some of the higher end drones. So some things to consider. Overall, I've liked it. It's been a really fun entry-level drone. I think for the price, it's really good, but if you can afford a little bit more to get a Mavic Air 2, it's definitely a better drone. It flies real similarly, but a lot better range, a lot better dynamic range, a lot better quality on the pictures and videos and all that sort of thing.